Have you noticed lately that things just aren't quite the same in the bedroom? Maybe the spark isn't there. Or perhaps, more frustratingly, the physical readiness isn't what it used to be. It can be a sensitive subject, something many men over 60 face but might not talk about openly. It feels like a part of your vitality is slipping away, leaving you feeling less confident, maybe even a bit disheartened. That feeling of disappointment, both for yourself and perhaps for a partner, is a painful reality for many. You might wonder if it's just part of getting older, something you simply have to accept. But what if I told you that while age is a factor, some of the most common things we put into our bodies every single day could be silently working against you? What if the very foods you enjoy are killing the possibility of maintaining a healthy, active, intimate life? It's not just about desire. It's about your body's physical ability to perform. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on 5 seemingly innocent foods that could be the culprits behind those frustrating moments and what you can do about them. Stick around because I'll share some surprising truths that can make a real difference. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's dive right into it, uncovering the first culprits that might be sabotaging your erections after 60. Think about what you often reach for when you're thirsty or need a quick energy boost. Are you grabbing a can of soda? Maybe a sweetened fruit juice from the carton? This might sound harmless, something you've done your whole life. But these sugary drinks are like a wrecking ball for your cardiovascular system, which is absolutely crucial for erectile function. When we talk about getting and maintaining an erection, we're fundamentally talking about blood flow. It requires healthy blood vessels that can relax and allow blood to rush into the penis. Sugary drinks, especially those loaded with high fructose corn syrup, cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar. Over time, these spikes and subsequent crashes lead to inflammation throughout your body, particularly damaging the delicate lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium. Imagine your blood vessels are like flexible hoses. Inflammation makes them stiff and less able to expand when needed. This directly restricts blood flow, not just to your heart or brain, but also down below. Beyond the immediate blood sugar chaos, regularly consuming these sugary beverages contributes significantly to weight gain, particularly around the midsection. Excess body fat, especially visceral fat around the organs, is metabolically active and releases inflammatory chemicals. It also messes with your hormone balance, potentially lowering testosterone levels and increasing estrogen, further disrupting the delicate chemical signals required for an erection. Plus, the constant sugar load can contribute to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. And diabetes, well, it's one of the leading causes of erectile dysfunction because it severely damages blood vessels and nerves. So, that daily soda or juice habit isn't just adding empty calories. It's actively eroding the health of your circulatory system, making it harder and harder for blood to get where it needs to go when it needs to go there. What's the alternative water? Plain and simple. Is your best friend? Unsweetened tea. Maybe with a squeeze of lemon. If you crave flavor, try infusing water with fruits like berries, cucumber, or mint. Making the switch from sugary drinks to water is one of the single most impactful things you can do for your overall health. And yes, for your performance in the bedroom. It helps keep your blood vessels supple and responsive, improves hydration, which is vital for circulation, and avoids the inflammatory cascade that sugar triggers. Now, let's talk about something else many of us grew up with or find: convenient fried foods and processed snacks loaded with unhealthy fats, particularly trans fats and excessive saturated fats. Think about those potato chips, French fries, fried chicken, or many commercially baked goods like cookies and pastries. They taste great. They're easy to grab, but they are notorious for clogging up your system. Trans fats, thankfully, are being phased out in many places, but they can still lurk in packaged goods labeled partially hydrogenated oils. Saturated fats aren't quite as villainous as trans fats, But too much of them, especially combined with refined carbs and sugar, creates a perfect storm for your arteries. These fats, when consumed regularly, contribute to the buildup of plaque inside your arteries, a condition called atherosclerosis. This plaque narrows the vessels and makes them rigid, like old pipes corroding on the inside. As this happens throughout your body, blood flow slows down and becomes less efficient. Again, this directly impacts your ability to achieve and maintain an erection, which relies on rapid and robust blood flow to the penile tissues. It's not just about the major arteries. It's the health of the smaller blood vessels, the microcirculation. That is also critical. And these unhealthy fats damage those tiny pathways too. Furthermore, these processed snacks are often high in sodium and low in fiber and essential nutrients. High sodium can contribute to high blood pressure, another major risk factor for erectile dysfunction, because it puts added strain on your blood vessels. The lack of fiber means they don't help with digestion or controlling blood sugar, adding to the inflammatory burden. Reaching for a bag of chips or a donut might seem like a harmless indulgence, but done regularly, it creates a hostile environment within your body for healthy blood flow and hormonal balance. What can you do? It's about replacing these with better options. Instead of fried chicken, try grilled or baked chicken instead of potato chips. Munch on a handful of unsalted nuts, seeds, or some carrot sticks with hummus. Choose whole grain crackers instead of refined ones. Learn to read labels and avoid anything with partially hydrogenated oils. Opt for healthy fats from sources like olive oil, avocados, and fatty fish, which actually support cardiovascular health. Making conscious choices about the fats you consume can significantly improve your arterial health, making it easier for your body to do what it needs to do when the moment is right. We've started looking at how sugary drinks and unhealthy fats found in fried and processed foods can throw a wrench in the works. But there are other everyday foods that might be impacting your vitality in ways you haven't considered. Moving on, let's talk about another category that often makes its way onto dinner plates or into sandwiches: processed meats. I'm talking about things like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, and cured meats. They're convenient, they taste good, but they are loaded with things that are detrimental to your cardiovascular health and, by extension, your erectile function. Processed meats are typically high in unhealthy saturated and often trans fats, just like some of the snacks we discussed. But they also contain high levels of sodium and nitrates or nitrites, which are used for preservation and color. While nitrates and nitrites can have complex effects in the body, in the context of processed meats, they are often linked to negative health outcomes. High sodium intake, as we've already touched upon, contributes to high blood pressure, which damages blood vessels over time. Think of it like constantly running your plumbing system at too high a pressure. Eventually, the pipes start to wear down. The combination of unhealthy fats, high sodium, and potentially harmful preservatives found in processed meats creates a powerful pro-inflammatory cocktail in your body. Chronic inflammation is a silent killer, damaging tissues and blood vessels throughout your system. When your blood vessels are inflamed and stiff, they can't dilate properly, which is essential for achieving an erection. Furthermore, some studies suggest a link between high consumption of processed meats and poorer endothelial function. Remember, that's the crucial inner lining of your blood vessels that needs to be healthy for good blood flow. It's not just about one meal. It's the cumulative effect over years of regularly consuming these products. While enjoying a bacon rasher or a sausage sandwich occasionally might not be the end of the world, making them a staple of your diet significantly increases your risk factors for conditions that directly impede erectile function, such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes. What are the alternatives? Lean protein sources are much better. Opt for fresh, unprocessed meats like chicken breast, turkey, or lean cuts of beef in moderation. Fish, especially fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, are fantastic because they contain omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for heart and blood vessel health. Plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, tofu, and tempeh are also excellent choices. When you choose unprocessed proteins, you're getting the building blocks your body needs without the added burden of excessive unhealthy fats, sodium, and preservatives that gum up the works and make it harder for blood to flow freely. Making a conscious effort to swap out processed meats for fresh, lean options is a powerful step towards supporting your cardiovascular health and improving blood flow to all parts of your body, including the ones important for intimacy. Now, let's turn our attention to another category that many of us consume daily: excessive red meat and high-fat dairy products. A juicy steak or a cheeseburger, full-fat milk, butter, cheese. They are comfort foods for many. While lean cuts of red meat in moderation can be part of a healthy diet, and dairy can provide calcium and vitamin D, excessive consumption of high-fat versions poses risks. The primary concern here is saturated fat and cholesterol. While dietary cholesterol's direct impact on blood cholesterol is debated, saturated fat intake is clearly linked to increased levels of LDL cholesterol, often called bad cholesterol. When you have too much LDL cholesterol circulating in your blood, it contributes to the formation of plaque in your arteries, the same atherosclerosis we talked about earlier. This narrowing and hardening of arteries directly impairs blood flow, just like trying to push water through a pipe lined with gunk. It becomes much harder for your blood to reach the penile tissues with enough pressure and volume to create an erection. Beyond the cholesterol issue, high consumption of red meat, especially fatty cuts, is also linked to increased inflammation in the body. As we've established, chronic inflammation is a major enemy of healthy blood vessels. High-fat dairy can also contribute to higher saturated fat intake. While some research is exploring the nuances of different types of dairy, generally speaking, opting for lower-fat versions or consuming full-fat dairy in smaller quantities is advisable, especially if you are concerned about cardiovascular health and erectile function. It's not about eliminating these foods entirely, but about quantity, frequency, and choosing leaner options instead of a large, fatty steak several times a week. Enjoy a smaller, leaner cut less often. Trim visible fat. Grill or bake instead of frying. Choose lean ground beef over regular. With dairy, consider switching to 1% or skim milk, or opting for lower fat cheeses. Greek yogurt is a good option as it's lower in sugar than many other yogurts and provides protein. Integrating more plant-based meals into your week can also help reduce your intake of animal fats and cholesterol. Swapping out a meat-heavy meal for one centered around beans, lentils, or vegetables packed with healthy fats like avocado can make a significant difference over time. Remember, improving erectile function through diet is largely about improving overall cardiovascular health and blood flow. Reducing excessive saturated fat intake from red meat and high-fat dairy is a key piece of that puzzle. Finally, let's tackle the last group of foods on our list that can undermine your efforts to maintain erections after 60 refined grains. What do I mean by refined grains? These are grains that have been processed to remove the bran and germ, which are the parts containing most of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Think white bread, white pasta, white rice, many breakfast cereals, pastries, cakes, and cookies. When you eat refined grains, your body breaks them down very quickly into sugar, leading to rapid spikes in blood glucose, similar to what happens with sugary drinks. These frequent sugar spikes put a strain on your body's ability to regulate blood sugar and insulin. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes, a major risk factor for erectile dysfunction due to its damage to blood vessels and nerves. Without the fiber that's present in whole grains, refined grains also don't keep you feeling full for long, often leading to overeating and weight gain, adding to the metabolic burden on your body. Furthermore, diets high in refined grains have been linked to increased levels of inflammation. The lack of fiber also negatively impacts gut health, An unhealthy gut can contribute to systemic inflammation, which, you guessed it, hurts your blood vessels and overall circulation. Essentially, refined grains provide quick energy but lack the beneficial components that support long-term health, including the health of your circulatory system necessary for erections. They are like empty calories that bring problems with them. What should you do instead? The answer is simple: switch to whole grains. Look for products labeled 100% whole wheat, whole rye, oats, barley, or brown rice. Whole grains contain all parts of the grain kernel, including the fiber-rich bran and nutrient-packed germ. The fiber helps slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, preventing those harmful spikes. It also supports a healthy gut microbiome and helps manage weight, making the switch from white bread to whole wheat, white pasta to whole wheat pasta, and white rice to brown rice or quinoa are relatively easy changes that can have a big impact. Choosing whole grain cereals instead of sugary, refined ones for breakfast is another simple step. These small substitutions add up, improving your blood sugar control, reducing inflammation, and promoting healthier blood vessels, all of which are vital for maintaining erectile function as you age. It's about making mindful choices about the foundation of your diet. So, we've talked about the impact of sugary drinks, those unhealthy fats found in fried and processed snacks, the issues with processed meats, the concerns with excessive red meat and high-fat dairy, and the problems posed by refined grains. It might sound like a lot to take in, and perhaps a bit daunting to think about changing habits that have been with you for decades. But remember, this isn't about perfection or completely eliminating everything you enjoy overnight. It's about awareness and making gradual, sustainable changes that prioritize your health and well-being. Think of it this way: your body has been incredibly resilient, carrying you through all these years. Now, in your 60s and beyond, it needs a little more support, a little more kindness in the form of nourishing foods that help it function optimally. When you reduce the intake of foods that promote inflammation, damage blood vessels, and disrupt hormone balance, you are actively giving your body a better chance to maintain healthy blood flow, which is fundamental for so many aspects of health, including erectile function, swapping out a soda for water, choosing a grilled chicken breast over processed sausages, opting for whole grain bread instead of white. These small decisions, made consistently over time, can make a truly significant difference. It's about shifting your focus from foods that might offer temporary pleasure but cause long-term problems, to foods that nourish and support your body's natural ability to perform. You are absolutely capable of making these changes. Your health and vitality are worth the effort. It's not about turning back the clock entirely, but about maximizing the quality of life you can enjoy right now and in the years to come. Don't get discouraged if you slip up sometimes. Nobody's perfect. Just acknowledge it and get back on track with your next meal or drink choice. Your body will thank you. This is about empowering yourself with information and taking control of what you can control. The fuel you give your body. It's a powerful step towards maintaining your independence, your confidence, and your ability to enjoy intimacy fully. We hope this conversation has given you some valuable insights into how your diet can impact your life, including aspects like erectile function. After 60, this journey is about progress, not perfection. Making even small changes to reduce your intake of sugary drinks, unhealthy fats, processed meats, excessive red meat and dairy, and refined grains can pave the way for better blood flow, reduced inflammation, and improved overall health. These aren't just changes for your physical health. They can significantly boost your confidence and emotional well-being too. You deserve to feel your best and live your life to the fullest. At every age, we encourage you to think about which of these foods might be making a regular appearance in your diet, and consider making 1 or 2 simple swaps this week. What's one food you're going to try reducing or replacing? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing about your experiences and creating a community here where we can support each other. If you found this video helpful or learned something new, please give it a like. It really helps our channel and tells us we're creating content you value. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos packed with practical tips and information for living your best life after 60. Remember, taking small steps today can lead to big positive changes tomorrow. You have the power to make choices that support your vitality and happiness. Thank you for watching. And here's to living your best life at every age.